Hello everyone. Today we have another case with the class 2, some asymmetry, some lower jaw shift, and we can suspect a mandibular advancement here since we have the conditions for it. If we have class 2, we should always suspect a mandibular advancement because it's literally not possible to achieve a successful distalization of the upper teeth for more than maximum 2.5 millimeters. So here let's check how many millimeters do we need to distalize the upper teeth. Yes, it's almost, you see here, almost 5 millimeters, which is not possible. Just no way. There are so many limitations. The bicortical positions of the roots and lack of the bone and blah blah blah. So that's why we will combine the distalization for about 2 millimeters and mandibular advancement for the same amount of distance. And as usual, we start with some expansion. We expand the teeth one by one. Maybe we should turn off the gingiva to see the bone better. I use tip-in movements for the expansion. Let's get to the upper jaw. And here we expand and distalize at the same time. Let's make the bone transparent so that we are able to see the roots and to justify if we can get some distalization or not at all. Okay, let's try to distalize for some degree. I think we're limited with about 2 millimeters. I'm going to combine tip-in movements and translation to make the movements more realistic. And we start with the standard protocol of distalization, making the steps like 50-50, half of the path. They complete half of the path within the first layer and the second half of the path within the next layer. And at the same time, we can start to procline the incisors at the same time in order to save some aligners. Okay. Next layer. So we move the second molars to the final position and start to move the first molars, combining the expansion with the distalization. It's the most typical protocol of distalization. And I got used to use it. Layer 1, layer 2. Layer 3. I forgot something. Let's add some more protection of the incisors. Since the layer 2, the patient is going to wear the elastics. In the third layer, we start to move the second premolars. Layer 4. Almost done. And the fifth layer, we move the first premolars to the final position we want them to have. Oops. Let's add more tipping, less translation, in order to keep the roots inside the bone. It's super important. It's the reason we use the CBCT superimposition. So since this layer, we can start to distalize the canines. Verse 6. From this layer, we're going to put the buttons to the bond the buttons to the canines, and it's gonna help the rotation of this canine because it's already more than 20 degrees, which is not possible for aligners without any auxiliaries, but here we're gonna use them. Now we'll stop at this point and proceed to the lower teeth. So it was the layer 1. That was the layer 1, and then I think we should procline the incisors more, gain more space to reduce the amount of IPR. Let's check the occlusal contacts. Here I expanded too much, I think. But we're going to advance the lower jaw, so it shouldn't be a big deal. And from now we want to make some sagittal gap. We achieve it by lingual tipping of the frontal teeth and extrusion of the lower premolars. So we combine the intrusion of the incisors and extrusion of the premolars. Well, reclining the incisors back, trying to keep some sagittal gap, trying to keep the torque we like. If we make a body retraction, we have to add some intrusion as well in order to retraction works. To let the retraction work, yep. Still class 2 on both sides. But we are trying to achieve good conditions for the advancement of the mandible. Make some more intrusion. Right. From now we can simulate the mandibular advancement. No. To simulate the midline shift, the shift of the mandibular to the left, we need to go to another module called change articulation. Here we can only move the teeth in the sagittal plane to see the approximate amount of the advancement. I think it should be I think it's gonna look like this. Yes, it's 2.5 millimeters, which is achievable in my opinion. So what we do now, we check the teeth positions, make the final check. Let's turn the gingiva on. And remove some minor things we don't like the gaps, the rotations, which we don't like. No, I think it's not possible to improve the torque of the left central incisor. Okay. That's some more intrusion. And check the overcorrection if we need it. We always need some. Okay. Now let's put the attachments on the teeth and see how many liners do we need to produce. Okay. I'm going to use the spherical attachments for retention and extrusion on the lower premolars. Then we are going to make some distalization. So we want to make some additional retention on the first molars on the lower jaw. I'm going to use this shape number 3, the elliptical one. To protect the molars from unwanted tipping and extrusion. But if it extrudes, it's not gonna be a bad thing for us. We'll raise the bite, which is not bad at all. Okay. Attachments for distalization. No, I changed my mind and I use the spherical ones. Because we don't want the pure translation. It's okay for us to combine the translation with tipping. Okay, all right. Do we rotate any canines for some major degree? Yes, we do. So that we need an additional attachment here and there. We have to put it parallel to the X, the axis. And here we might want to put the same attachment. But we're going to remove it at the last layers. Because once we've done with the distalization of the premolars, we're going to we're going to distalize the canines with the auxiliaries as well. Same on the left side. So this way we mark the spots for the cutouts for our technicians. Oh, my bad. Okay. What else can we do? To keep the molars after the distalization to prevent relapse of it, we're going to use some other nightwear elastics from here to there. Okay. Same on the left side. Okay. Let's make the numbers. Where do you put the digits on? Let it be the left canine. Let's save and check how many liners do we need to print. Four, 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 four. Let me be 8. And 10. Oh, 9. I don't know why, but Maestro constantly crashes when I launch the animation. Okay, I guess I should extend the wearing the elastics from the lower 7th to the upper 6th for one more layer to prevent the possible relapse while it's done with distalization, but it's still able to get some nasal tipping if we don't keep it. Lower jaw, some expansion, IPR, and the retraction looks good. And here our classical protocol of distalization. And the first 4 or 5 layers we attach the elastics to the aligner, and then we attach it to the button on the canine. Left and right sides, same. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add one more attachment. I mean, I want to extend wearing the elastics here for one more layer. Let it be, yep. Would it be the first 4 layers? The nighttime wearing these elastics. 8 hours a day is enough. And then I make the 4th layer, the lower jaw, just to simulate the mandibular advancement, to show the doctor how it's gonna look like. If our plan works. Mm-hmm. Should be something like this. Let's save the result of our work and upload it to the Maestro cloud and send a link to the doctor. So we need to recalculate the quantity of the aligners for the lower jaw. But since this is just a demonstrational layer where we just advance the mandibular, we're gonna make one aligner. We're uploading it to the cloud, opening the browser. I think we can complete this treatment within 10 months or something. I'm going to use Endura FLX for this case. Let's see how it looks on animation in the web viewer. So this is before the shift of the mandible, and this is after. Some sagittal gap and the mandibular advancement. Thank you for watching.